Welcome to the class to Ruth Mbanan. You're welcome back to.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome back to. We shall be waiting for others to join shortly before we continue. We'll start by 10 minutes past 10 by 1. It's already 1:06. In the next 4 minutes, we're going to start. Jasmine and Ruth. Ruth, you drop a note for them, ask them to join us in the class. Tell them we're in the class waiting for them. Hello, Mbanan. To Ruth, please can you tell them to join us in the class? You're welcome to the class. Joseph Odu and Chidima Ologwala.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. We'll be starting shortly in the next 2 minutes. Yeah, 6 persons. In the next 1 minute or so, we will start. We'll continue. You are welcome back to the class. We cannot continue to wait for others. Remember, the class is SST 721, Social Standard and Emergency and Humanitarian Services. And we introduce the course. We look at today the National Disaster Management Framework. We look at the 8 focus areas. Who is responsible for what, starting from the capacity, from the institution, from the coordination, disaster risks, down to number 8 point, what we call the facilitators and enablers. So we look at some basic things. We came to where we're discussing what we call communities in disasters management. We got say robust contributions. The robust contributions came from all of you. And then what we'll be looking at shortly is that it's more of what you should be expecting in your exams. But before we go to what you'll be expecting in your exams, let's look at exactly what we're trying to look. When we look at community organizations, the role of community in disaster management, we mentioned some of the functions of the disasters, ensure commitment, how preparedness has to be made, members house of the disasters, how to sensitize and build a capacity for communities, constituting what we call the front in preparations, and then the response to disaster threat. Yoga, please, can you mute your speakers? How to mobilize the communities, resources, and then how those community has to actually capture from our earlier discussion. How to prepare for resilience, how to respond, how to mitigate, using the various what we call strategies. And those strategies has to do with technical support from LEMA, from SEMA, from NEMA, ensuring active participation in preparations and implementations of disaster management plans, creating awareness and disaster risks, early warning system, train and retrain of basics, first aid skills, adopt disaster management strategy to meet up local needs and peculiarities, encouraging community participations in activities that will enhance environmental interchanges. The disaster risk response unit in disaster management. You may be asked, which are the DREUs? DREUs. And when we talk about the DREU, we're simply talking about disasters response unit. And then they shall be assigned what is designated a military force located a country. And those military, with what we call combined task force, they are referred to as the disaster risk response unit. They do that. What do they do? The defense headed by the Ministry of Defense. They shall have a mandate, and their mandate is to providing services in humanitarian assistance during disasters that may be requested by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Establish guidelines for armed forces, the aid and civil authority. The DREUs are what we call the work closely with NEMA trying to provide the basic functions. We stated their roles in a very clear terms. Can you mute your speakers over there? Providing provision of infrastructures to support communities in terms of technical equipments, in terms of manpower, in terms of command control. They embark on just like the NEMA, the social search and rescue, the relief operations at disasters, provision of medical care at the incidents and site, and the evacuation of casualties. They render firefighting services in conjunction with what we call services decision. They render logistics support for transportation. We try to do most of the time when you see in the crisis area. If you go to Yerewata now, or when you go to St. Clair, geopolitical zone, places like Katsina, Kumlogo, or part of Gwe West, in Naka, Adoka, Agatu, you go to Riomin Jos, or when you move to places like Mango in Plateau State, you see disaster response unit. They are part of convention where we bring paramilitary together. Apart from the paramilitary, we bring in the Nigerian police, the civil defense teams. They combine using their strategies on how we can be able to manage and manipulate, including sometimes even women. You can even see women on the disasters response unit. They help in trying to make sure. Nai Grace, please, can you mute your speakers? Nai Grace Joseph, mute your speakers. They render firefighting service in conjunction with the service institution. Nai Joseph, mute your speakers. Nai Joseph, mute your speakers. Mute your speakers, Nai Joseph. They render support and then support for transportation. Please, someone should tell Nai Grace Joseph she's disturbing our class. She should mute her speakers. Lenders, logistics support, and transportation. They tried all of that in the process of managing. The disaster response unit, they did with the setting up, running of relief camps, necessary opening of routes, constructions, repairs, bridges, and then enable some basic things. We are sometimes ordinary security agency that when you need a combined force, they can be there. They also assist in the evacuation of people to safer places before and after the disasters. They provide escort for men, material and security, and then any kind of installation. They assist in what we call the management and handling of international disasters if requested by the civil administration. They provide psychological counseling to the people affected in disasters. They provide security for people and property. They provide in the very affected areas. They have what we also call the code of conduct, the do's and don'ts. We are expected to teach them. Last time, just like I was saying, when I was at announcement, was to discuss with them, talk to them on how issues of disasters, how the issue of emergency, they are expected to do. Then the next that we'll be looking at, we're getting to the end of these lectures before we start to do our revision. We'll be looking at the roles of volunteers in disaster management. Volunteers in emergency and disaster management discover that they shall perform the following functions. They shall assist in search of what we call rescues as operation. They carry out almost all the functions as assigned and designated by NEMA, SEMA, and LEMA, or other NGOs. They function what we give useful information or places to prompt to human-induced and natural resources. They partake in simulation exercise. Apart from simulation exercise, they help in direct distribution of relief materials in emergency situations. They take part in activities that will lead to disasters and reduction measures in the community. The volunteers shall perform their duties and organize in a manner now under the supervision and guidance of SEMA and then LEMA. All of these are functions of the volunteers organization. Some of you may be members of volunteers organization. You've been part and parcel of them. You'll be doing some duties here, helping to have some situation. And then let's look at what I call Joseph Odu. Joseph Odu, what are the other roles of volunteers in disaster management that you have want to share with us? Chidima can also be able to help us in sharing that anybody or even Obanga, if you want to speak apart from the Joseph or do that, could just raise up your hand. We give you to contribute on the role. Yeah, Chidima, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. As an individual, we contribute 1 cent to see that our society, our environment is better. So some of the roles that volunteers play in the society or in a community-based organization, CSOs, NGOs, is to contribute their quota. Like maybe sometimes it can help in different departments of the organizations in communications.
Yeah, you are right. Go ahead, Chidima.
Okay, we can contribute when it comes to field work, like going to the field to source data. You can contribute when it comes to monitoring and evaluation. You can contribute with policy, research, data gathering. So it varies. It depends on what your niche is and what you intend to contribute per time. And then, apart from volunteering for an organization, you can decide to sensitize a group of people or network where you have leadership or you have opportunity to hang around or be associated with. So I think that's some of the roles that one can perform as a volunteer. Thank you, sir.
Oh, that is very fantastic. That is good. That is very, very good and fantastic. Who also wants to contribute on the role of volunteers? Role of volunteers in disaster management. Most of us are part of the volunteers in disaster management. And then all of that, we contribute. So we can decide to also be part of volunteers. Yeah, Danny Amos, you've seen some disasters and camps and going. Do you know what volunteers do at disasters or in the terms of management of disasters? I can just decide to say short note on the role of volunteers, right? Short note on the role, your basic roles in emergency and disaster management. Yeah, Jenny, anybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you tell us the role of volunteers? Can you tell us any role of volunteers in disaster management?
Yes, sir. Some of you, I think those volunteers in disaster management are those individuals who took upon themselves to provide the victims with materials, relief materials, and basic needs to help during the victim. So one of the roles is to provide those victims with relief materials and at times even cash.
Wow. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for that robust contribution. Thank you for that robust and wonderful contributions. It's quite wonderful. We appreciate it. So some of the roles are just like most of you know, are basic that we expected at this. This is the organogram of what we call the horizontal and vertical coordination in disaster management, relevant federal ministry, departments and agencies. We talk about the community, CSO, international organization from NEMA to zonal office to SEMA to LEMA to community, and they evolve in the relevance ministry, departments, and their agencies, and then what we call military or the disaster response unit, down to the police, the military, to the relevant local government departments, and the paramilitary. They have what we call the civil society organization, the internationals, and all of that. The organizations, the CBOs, the NGOs, age group, the grassroots, the volunteers, religious organizations, were down to what in the organogram we call the vertical and the vertical structure. And that takes us to the end of the lectures for today, as we are going in for what we call basically our revisions and all that we need to do. Thank you, and God bless all of you. for being steadfast. Disaster management and then emergency sometimes can be troubling, but we need to tackle it. Sometimes the rules are also tight. You've been all of you, from 8 of you that has been around, the 9, ranging from Dandy Amos, Doga Japheth, Elizabeth Obonga, Joseph Odu, Naya Grace Joseph. We're taking note of all of that. To Ruth Manang, and basically, who again are those that are here for now. Now, Anaheme Nungu, who has been in the class as well, with Chidima Ologavala. This is where we come to our end. Now we are giving room for questioning from the first day, from the second day, from the third day. Any question that you want to ask about disasters or emergency management, you are free to ask. We attend to it. If there are no comments, if there are contributions, you also say to us. By the time you are done with that, we'll be looking at what I call revision, the likely areas that your exams are going to come and how the exams will look like. And then we call it a day. So I give the floor to you now for your just this discussion. Hello. Yeah, Chidiman, your comments or contribution.
Okay. I don't want to contribute, so I just want to ask a question, sir.
Okay, ask your question.
In respect to the exams and all, sir, please.
Yes.
I just want to understand what the nature of which you like questions to be answered. Like, do you like applied response? Do you like responses based on completely what has been taught? And I don't know, I just want an overview of what you would love to see as a response to your question, your exam question, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chidima. I'm a meticulous person, but I don't go on issues whereby with my boss, distinguished Professor Adolphus Naswin. We are meticulous in emergency and disasters. How your questions will be answered is just, you must necessarily digest or be able to cram, what I call cramming everything word by word from what we are giving you. If you have superior knowledges, guided by what we've been told, and if there is any relevant information, we can still give you our marks. But we mark technical. Technical is that, not just writing history or grammar. We give basic points like key points, just like we listed. What we listed, we're giving to you here is key points. We expect it should be in line with that. And the exams is going to be 6 questions. 6 questions, all of them are A and B. The questions has picking. For others, when you come to master, sometimes we'll make it, there will be 3 periods, not just twins. Question 1A, 1B, 1C. But at your O level, is 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. You have 6 questions. You have to answer 4. Your assessment is 30 marks. Part of your assessment is the assignment I've given to you and say you should answer and submit within 10 days. We don't take the exception when it's just remaining 2 days. We will update who have submitted. And I repeat, and your what you call assignment may also be likely be your exam questions. Sometimes when they give assignments, some people will copy, they will dub. At the end of the day, they will not read it. In emergency and disasters management, sometimes the assignment is also part of the exams. That is what we can say for now. Shortly, we'll be asking 1 or 2 free questions. And for people that can listen very well and be attentive and be meticulous, already they will know the direction of the exams or how it's going. Thank you very much. We appreciate more questions. Anything you want to ask about it, try to put it across. We can be able to attend to you. That's why we're giving enough time. And one of the reasons also, as part of discussion with distinguished professor, is that I give you all of this in time also that you have enough time, both for your assignment and both, remember, this is your first exam that you are going to write. So that you also have prepared enough. It will not be an emergency or disaster issues. Thank you. Next comments, next questions, or next contribution. Is that next question? Next comment? Is there no other question again? Or no comments? No contributions? The house is quiet. You have the opportunity to do that now. Anything you want to ask. By the time you are not out of the class, you'll be. Now we'll be looking at some certain issues now. Since everywhere is just very quiet, we are starting with our revision now. And the revision starts straight away. And the first one go this way. If you are asked, what are the common, you should name 10 types of disasters, or common type of disasters in Nigeria, and how can they be mitigated? Now let me ask that to Chidima. Chidima, name at least 10 common type of disasters in Nigeria. You name them. Then the Amos. Then the Amos, you tell me how those 10 type of disasters can be mitigated. Each of them. Chidima, over to you.
Okay, sir. All right. Some of the disasters. So I may not be able to name 10. No, I'll just give the number that I can.
We have more than 20, and you mentioned, we say specifically in Nigeria. So you mean the ones in Nigeria. Go ahead. You start with one.
Okay, we have fire incident.
Fire, emergency, and disaster. This is one.
Okay. We have flooding, disaster.
Flooding, that is two. Very good.
We have drought.
Oh, that is good. That is three. Very good.
The fourth one, we have land tremor.
Yeah, land tremor in Nigeria. That's very true. That's a small form of shockwave, earthquake.
Yes, sir.
That is very good. Accepted.
The fifth one, we have I don't know if I've mentioned fire outbreak, sir.
You mentioned fire outbreak before.
Okay,
I'm even taking them down.
We have health hazards, sir. Sorry.
Oh, health hazards, okay. Biological emergency and health emergencies.
Yes.
And disaster.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So those are the 5 I can remember.
You tried, and one was for you. At least you passed for the exam. But at least you should know no less than 10. I can name more than 100 for class. If you see in your exams, it can be. So let me expect others will be mentioned. And let me go to who will do that for us here next. Let me go to Dende Amos. It has mentioned 5. Mention the other 5 common type of disasters in Nigeria.
Okay, let me mention the one I'm affected with.
Yes.
In fact, banditry.
Banditry, that is number 6. Very good.
Farmer headers class.
Farmer headers classes, very good. That is number 7.
Landslides and soil erosion.
That landslide, you mentioned that a bit, but can assess the number 8.
Oh.
Go ahead. It stops happening in
Nigeria. Building collapse.
Building collapse, number 9. Very good.
Medical epidemic and pandemic.
medical epidemics and pandemics. 1.5 bossa for Dandy Amos, bossa and boast. We just give it to you. Now we move to Doga, Jaffe. Doga, that question was 2 in 1. It was asked, what are the type of disasters in Nigeria and how can they be mitigated? We gave you more than 10 mitigation measures. So mention 10 mitigation measures that are likely to occur in Nigeria. Or how do we mitigate it? Yeah, if Doga cannot answer that, who can tell us the mitigation measure? We move to, who is there? Let's move to Nai Grace. Nai Grace, what are the mitigation measures?
Hello?
Yeah, Dandy Amos, you want to say something again?
Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Okay, that conflict, that banditry.
Okay.
Yes, it can be mitigated through conflict resolution and mechanism. Sorry, through they can install. Sorry, let me start again. One plot, to be precise, it can be mitigated through flood control and like dams, relocation and dredging of waters.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Dredging of dams, you just mentioned very few of them. We mentioned about 15 of the year, Grace. Yeah, Grace, go ahead, mention that.
Yes, sir. In terms of soil, in terms of drought and erosion, because some of these things are caused by heavy use of chemicals. Introduction of integrated pest management system is also
okay for integrated pest management in terms of the biological and medicals. Yeah, we can accept
yes,
that.
Sir. Yes, sir. Then we'll also have
remember, we'll give you about
like
15 of them in your notes.
Yes, sir.
I gave you more than 15 mitigation measures. Go ahead, but go ahead.
Yes, sir. So we also have educational program, like sensitization program, like
as part of mitigation measure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. With because with the education, people are
yeah, we are getting you. Go ahead.
Able to. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, sir. There was an incoming call. Okay, sir. Like educational sensitization program, like we can actually have it in different dialects so that people are knowledgeable about things that can lead to disaster, you know. Then thirdly, we have policies, like friendly policies that targets. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, and then we making policies and ensuring that those policies are.
Now look at it. Look at what we mentioned on the common type of disasters. Look at it on the screen. Now you read what we have there.
Okay, sir. Common type of emergency and disaster in Nigeria: flood, fire outbreak, road accident, public and private, residential, car, etc., building collapse, drought, example in the northern region, oil spillage, example in the Niger Delta. Okay, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead with this. Go ahead with this.
Okay, okay. Landslide and soil erosion, heavy wind such as thunderstorm, medical epidemics and pandemics, disasters such as Lassa, fever, polio, measles, cholera, chickenpox, among others, farmers' herders clashes, communal clashes, inter-ethnic and religious conflicts. banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism.
By the time mitigation measures, read them, go ahead.
Okay, mitigation measures, planning, preparedness, and advocacy, education, awareness, and forecasting, flood control measures like dam, relocation, dredging, and building of levees and drainages, installation and the use of firearms and detection, fire extinguishers, electrical safety measures, access control, fire resistance, barriers, and regular maintenance, adhering to building standard code and specifications.
Go ahead.
Infrastructural development such as dualization, use of road signs, speed limits, and avoid driving in the night. Vaccination and immunization for medical emergencies.
Yes,
Irrigation system for drought-prone areas, afforestation, and reforestation. Improve oil spillage response and cleanup. Conflict resolution mechanism or initiative dialogue. Security, surveillance, and intelligence. Install lightning rods.
By the time we ask all of this, I say, no, we don't know, we are not sure. We don't even know whether it was, we were told. The thing is confusing some of us. Some of these exams.
It's not confusing.
I say, okay, anyway, they play.
When we meet to confuse us because excuse me, sir, to confuse us because education is there, awareness is there, forecasting is there. Are they not supposed to be different so that you will talk elaborately on awareness, then talk on sensitization?
When you meet in your exams, you know, it's from there you argue with your paper. You confuse us. When it confuse you in the exams. Now we know we are very plain in emergency and disasters, and we check a lot of things. And when it's very easy to pass, it's very easy for you to also fail. But we are putting everything on record here, very on record. Everything we are doing here, like we take all these lectures, making that we have a coverage. As we are doing here in this class, also we also monitor. Let me tell you something that happened at IPES. Even Dr. Teran that is teaching you is being monitored, whether he has taught you what he's supposed to do, whether he is doing the right thing, whether he has not done, whether the exam you've been set is also what will be. So I'm just telling you in case we don't want emergency and disasters. But when you think it's a child play, and at the end of the day, you ask some, we will not talk much, maybe we may not argue much, but you see the outcomes from when it comes out. So we do all that. The next one is also, let me go back if there is, because I gave you a lot of time to ask a lot of questions. Everybody was mute. So let me go some basic things so go about issues. It's just the sky to ask you that you should discuss low magnitude and what we call emergencies, the moderate magnitude and intensity and emergencies, and catastrophic emergency and what we call the high. And I'll go back to Odu. Odu had not been speaking. Joseph Odu, if you say to explain what is the difference between low magnitude and intensity, emergency and disasters, the moderate magnitude emergency and disasters, and what we call the high or the catastrophic emergency and disasters. Joseph Odu. If Odu does not know, anybody can raise up your hand. What is the difference?
Hello, sir.
You tell us the difference. Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry,
good afternoon, Joseph Odu.
May not speak on their differences. Sorry, sir. I've not been following.
Okay, I love
the class.
I love when people are sincere and straightforward without controversies or perambulating about to make us. I love that very well. So no, I cannot answer that. I don't know that. Quite very simple and easy. Who can answer that? The difference between low magnitude, emergency, and intensity, the moderate magnitude and intensity and disasters, and then what we call, who can please answer that? Is that comes under the handling of emergency and disasters? Yeah. Who can do that? The class seems to be in limbo. In limbo in the sense that it's very quiet. Who can tell us the difference? Or is it that one, somebody say we're not taught to know the difference, except we will go and do panel beating. What which taught and gave example. I go back to Ruth Banan. So Ruth Banan, read what we have on the screen there for us. Yeah, Doga Japheth. Doga Japheth. Doga Japheth, you have the floor. Your hands is up. Doga Japheth is not talking, so we'll go back to
mitigation.
Yeah, so Ruth, you were not with us, so we needed to call your attention. So you should read the slide on there. We show you should explain the difference between low magnitude and emergency disasters or emergencies. Read what is on the slide there. Oh, if that's difficult for you, let's move to another person. Yeah, Japheth, please. Japheth. Let's move to Nai Grace. Nai Grace, please go ahead. Yeah. You seem to be more proactive and doing that. Nai Grace. Nai Grace Joseph, are you there? Elizabeth Obonga. Obonga, can you read and tell us the difference?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Low magnitude and intensity emergencies. Number one, local response. Utilize local resources such as fire departments, ambulance services, and community emergency response teams. Example is small fire with no casualties. Car accident
small fire with no casualties. Go ahead, very good.
Car accident casualties. Number two, incident command system, ICS.
Yes.
Implement a standardized structure to coordinate response efforts.
Yeah.
Number three, community evacuation drills. Conduct regular drills to prepare for potential emergencies.
Yes. Go ahead. Number two, you are dealing with moderate magnitude and intensity emergencies.
Moderate magnitude and intensity emergencies. Regional response. Active regional emergency management teams and resources. Fire in high-rise building with some casualties. 0.5 S. Number two, mutual aid agreements. Agreements with neighboring jurisdictions.
Okay.
For resource sharing and collaboration.
Good.
Example, NEMA, North Central Office, JOS. Number three, Operation Center, EO, activation, Nigeria. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Go to the last one, catastrophic magnitude, Obanga. The last one.
I'm not seeing it yet, sir.
The catastrophic emergencies, check your, is already on, no. Catastrophic magnitude and intensity. Can you see it now?
Number three. Yes, sir. catastrophic magnitude and intensity emergencies. Example is massive fire, earthquake, many casualties, hurricane, tsunami, Ebola, etc. Then under it, we have number 1, multi-agency coordination. Active unified coordination groups with multiple agencies and stakeholders. Number 2, federal assistance. Request federal aid and resources through declared emergencies or disasters. Number 3, international support. Seek international assistance through established frameworks and long-term recovery planning. Initiate planning for extended recovery.
Thank you very much. We've done a lot and a lot of job. I think by now, Elizabeth Obonga, you appreciate us. That when we keep talking and you are listening, and you just did for some few minutes now, and your voice was, no, it was shining. I was going down small. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
We do all of that. And then by the time you are asked to differentiate between the three, you say, okay, you can just decide to say it was confusing also. We didn't understand though. You can also decide to say we're not taught. You can just decide also not to answer. In the postgraduate studies, you can also differ. Even exams, when you get into the side of the exams and you don't want to write, you can just decide that, no, me, I don't want to write. But nothing will be. The only thing is that the results will just come. So we're just trying to be straightforward when we come to issues. Then the next issue should be that I may just decide to also ask you to expatiate on the rights of victims of emergency, such as women, children, the elderly, all that are living with disabilities in emergency response. And that may carry a chunk amount of money. And we talk about that. We talk about them here. We mentioned the role of international organization. You may be asked all this role that should be stated, at least the role of international organization in the management of disasters. And then what are the human rights abuses? Those rights of victims, we mentioned about 15 of them. Somebody may just decide, it's like they mentioned that, though. It's like they didn't take. The whole thing is, there are about 15 of them here. Know it and know peace, and know that there are key things. If there's anything for you to ask now, before we go all of that before. Otherwise, next we'll be meeting is that we will be meeting in exams. You should also be able to know the 5 steps in emergency management. And lastly, what I will be discussing for you to start and give you rooms for questions for the day is what I talk about, the 8 focus area in disaster management, which we started with them today, which we mentioned. You may decide to say, set them, mention them, or have a discussion on them. And by the time we do that, you should be able to know, oh, that we already did that today. And it's very, very important. And that takes us to what we can say, those 8 focus areas that we in disaster management and other key functions that we need to know. They're basically all that we need to know. These 8 focus areas, we say they are very important. It could be say enumerate this list and discuss the 8 focus areas briefly in disaster management. We have come to the end of what we call, that is the end of those 8 focus areas that we mentioned here. You look at them, they are here. They are also very important for you to know them and know how you can be able to discuss. And that takes us to the end of the day and what we know. If there's any question from you now, you can ask. Otherwise, next we meet is that we'll be meeting in exams. And that is all. Thank you for the day. So we throw room once again for any question of any kind. You can ask any question of any kind as far as is pertaining this course, and we do justice to that. It's over to you now. If you want to speak, you raise up your hands. When you raise up your hands, coordinate yourself in a decorum, and we allow you to speak and attend to issues. It is time for questioning. It's time for comments. It's time for contributions. It's time for subtraction. It's time for addition. Still in the class, I can see Aheminongo is still in the class, Chidima is still in the class, Dendi still in the class, Doga Japet is still in the class, Nine is still in the class, To Ruth Manan is still in the class. With robust silence, I'm very calm. I assume that there is no question. If there's no questions, let me make the final closing remark so that we'll close for the day. Is there any comments, any contribution for the last time, any questions before we close for the day? We are done with our revisions and basic areas. We see repeat. The exams is 6 questions. You answer 4. It's about 70 marks. 30 marks is part of the assignment and part of your assessment or participation in the class. Part of your assessment and participation in class forms, that part of 30 marks that we need in the assessment. That is how we handle it in disaster, social standard and emergency and disasters. That is a blueprint or the status quo. If there's any questions now, if there's any comments now, if there's any contribution now, if there's any addition, it's time. Or if there's none, we will close for the day. We have come to the conclusion, having been a perpetual maintained silence, we have come to the conclusion of SST 721, social standard in emergency in the disaster management, including the revision that hitherto we're supposed to have done. This is to enable, to give enough time for you to go through all your lecture materials, which has been given to you, to do your assignment on time, prepare for your self-reviewing exams, and we'll meet you in the exams hall. Thank you, and God bless all of you, and bye-bye for now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
We'll
God
look
bless
forward
you.
to the exam, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.